Welcome to today's webinar, Additional Insured Checklist, 10 Steps to Protect Your Business from Liability Claims. If you're a contractor, business owner, property manager, real estate investor, or risk manager, you've probably seen contracts requiring one party to add another as an additional insured. But here's the question, how do you know the coverage was actually provided? Many organizations collect certificates of insurance and assume they're protected. Unfortunately, that's where many contractual risk transfer programs fail. Additional insured status can provide powerful liability protection, but only if it's properly documented, verified, maintained. Today, we'll walk through a practical 10-step checklist you can use to strengthen your risk management process and avoid costly mistakes. Let's begin. Step 1. Determine whether additional insured status is required. First step, review the contract. Check for requirements about additional insured status, liability transfer provisions, risk transfer obligations, insurance requirements. Never assume coverage is required. Verify what the contract demands. Step 2. Identify the correct legal entity. One of the most common mistakes, incorrect entity names. Endorsement should reflect the correct legal entity. Review company name, ownership and property entities. Contracting entity. Accuracy is critical to avoid disputes. Step 3. Verify the type of additional insured endorsement. Not all endorsements provide the same protection. Some are broader, some limited. Check if it covers ongoing operations, completed operations. Endorsement must align with the exposure from the work being performed. Step 4. Confirm coverage applies to the contracted work. Protection is typically tied to specific activities. Review endorsement details. Confirm it applies to contracted work. Coverage should support the actual business relationship. Step 5. Verify policy effective dates. Coverage periods are crucial. Confirm active coverage. Effective dates match project timelines. Policy stays in force through the job. A valid endorsement today may not protect you if it expires early. Step 6. Review liability limits. Coverage strength depends on limits. Review general liability limits, aggregate limits, umbrella limits, if any. Compare against contract minimums. Ensure sufficient protection in case of a significant claim. Step 7. Verify primary and non-contributory requirements. Some contracts require insurance to be primary and non-contributory. This means their insurance pays first before yours. Request documentation. Verify compliance. It's often overlooked. Step 8. Verify waiver of subrogation requirements. Contracts may also require a waiver of subrogation. Check if a waiver is needed. Verify the endorsement was issued. Strong risk transfer includes both protections. Step 9. Collect and review supporting documentation. Certificates of insurance aren't enough. Request and review additional insured endorsements, waiver of subrogation endorsements, primary non-contributory endorsements, relevant policy forms. Document review confirms compliance. Step 10. Establish an ongoing review process. Verification is not one time. Policies renew, projects evolve, requirements change. Create a system for tracking policy expirations, reviewing renewals, monitoring compliance, maintaining records. Continuous oversight is key. Real-world example. A property owner hires a contractor to perform renovations. Contract requires additional insured status. Contractor gives certificate of insurance referring to additional insured. Property owner files certificate, assumes all is well. Months later, a visitor is injured and sues. Claim investigation reveals no endorsement was ever issued. Now the property owner faces legal expenses and possible coverage disputes. This situation is more common than you think. A certificate referencing additional insured is not the same as an actual endorsement. That's why verification is essential. Common additional insured mistakes. Assuming a COI proves additional insured status. Failing to verify endorsements. Using incorrect legal entity names. Ignoring policy expiration dates. Not reviewing contract requirements. Failing to maintain documentation. Each of these mistakes can weaken your contractual risk transfer program. Best protection comes from avoiding these pitfalls. Best practices. Follow a consistent process. Contract review, endorsement verification, documentation collection, compliance monitoring, annual audits, renewal tracking. Objective. Protection exists when a claim occurs, not just checking boxes. Conclusion. Additional insured checklist. Let's recap today's checklist. Determine if additional insured status is required. Identify the correct legal entity. Verify the endorsement type. Confirm coverage applies to the work. Verify policy dates. Review liability limits. Verify primary and non-contributory requirements. Verify waiver of subrogation requirements. Collect supporting documentation. Establish an ongoing review process. Remember, additional insured status is one of the most powerful tools in contractual risk transfer, but only when it's properly verified. The businesses most protected are those that review, document, and monitor insurance requirements before a claim occurs. Thank you for joining today's webinar, www.montridgeinsurance.com. For more resources on business insurance, contractual risk transfer, and risk management strategies, visit. We appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you in the next webinar.